Level 1. You wake up and choose the familiar route. Same street, same coffee, same excuses dressed in different words. Comfort feels safe, and safe feels like success. Until it doesn't. You work harder inside the borders you've drawn. But the borders don't move. You begin to notice small losses. A job that could have been yours. A relationship that stalled. A skill that dulled. You blame timing. You blame others. But the truth sits quietly in the corner. Your comfort zone is a kiln. It hardens you. It cooks decisions into habits. Habits become default settings. And default settings steer outcomes. This is where the first sting hits. Not dramatic, just steady. Opportunity erodes. Momentum slows. You trade growth for predictability. You think you're protecting yourself. What you're doing is limiting your future. Level 2. You start collecting evidence. Small data points that don't lie. A postponed call. A course left incomplete. A pitch you didn't make because it felt risky. Each item is a breadcrumb. Follow them and a pattern forms. You begin to see how comfort cheats you. It shows up as delayed deadlines. It shows up as diluted ambition. You watch others stretch, and you feel two things. Admiration and envy. Both are honest teachers. They tell you what's possible. They also show where you stopped trying. You map your days. Where are the edges? Where is friction? You find pain points, small ones, but repeat them enough and they become cliffs. You measure time spent maintaining versus time spent growing. Maintenance wins. Growth loses. That realization is not an accusation. It's an invitation. You can redesign the ratio. You can tip the scale. Level 3. The first test is simple. Pick one tiny discomfort. Not a leap. A nudge. A 15-minute phone call. A meeting request. A new sentence in an email. You prepare, but you do it fast. Imperfection is part of the experiment. You do it to prove a hypothesis. You can expand the edge without breaking everything. You fail. You feel exactly what you feared. It stings for a moment. Then you record what happened. The world did not end. Someone was annoyed. Someone was grateful. A door opened a little. You try again. A rhythm emerges. Discomfort becomes a signal, not a stop sign. You learn to read it. It says, growth potential here. You keep a log, wins and misses. The log becomes a mirror. You realize your fear was louder than reality. Level 4. Now scale the discomfort with strategy. Not reckless, measured. You create micro experiments. 3-week sprints. One habit to change at a time. You set boundaries. You budget attention. You protect the work you want to do. You remove low-value comforts. Scrolling time becomes learning time. Sunday brunch becomes a planning hour. You build scaffolding. Accountability partners. Tiny rewards. A ritual before every risk. A 5-minute breathing pause. You celebrate the attempt, not just the result. That matters because you will fail again and again. But you now know failure is a data point, not a final verdict. The experiments teach you risk literacy. You learn which discomforts are worth the cost and which are noise. Level 5. You bank momentum. It accumulates like compound interest. Small choices compound into reputation. People notice the new cadence of your life. You show up different. Your confidence is quieter but fiercer. You handle unknowns with a new muscle. You hire discomfort on purpose. Public commitments. Monthly deadlines. A preventable fear is dismantled piece by piece. You gain leverage. A bigger project that used to feel impossible now fits into steps. You find courage in practice. Failure still stings, but now it is affordable. You can recover. You can pivot. You learn to ask better questions. Not just will this work, but what will I learn if it doesn't? Your answers change. They become currency. Level 6. Comfort still calls you. When the noise gets loud. When you're tired, you will be tempted to retreat. That's okay. You have a plan now. You return to the log. You review the wins. You remind yourself of the worst-case recovery. You remember that the worst things you imagined rarely came true. And when they did, you survived. You create a new default. Not courage all the time, but curiosity most of the time. A gentle insistence on growth. A refusal to let convenience always decide. You redesign your environment. You surround yourself with people who move you. You schedule friction where it belongs. You make future you an ally. Closing scene. This is not a manifesto of extremes. It is a quiet reorientation. You don't need to burn your life down. You need to keep your edges honest. You need to test one small discomfort, then another. You need to learn the rhythm. Comfort will always be seductive, but you are not powerless. Every tiny choice is a vote for the life you want. Choose the ones that build the future. You will still rest. Rest is not retreat, it's calibration. The difference is intention. When you choose intentionally, success stops being accidental. It becomes a landscape you can walk into. You step out, you breathe, you begin again.